Fetterman. This one blows my mind. So John Fetterman introduced, while he's in the hospital, the Railway Safety Act. So two things that are a big problem with this. Number one, Fetterman and Democrats are introducing a safety bill for the railway after the accident, not before. And by the way, before anybody on the left starts saying, well, it's Trump's fault, all that stuff's been debunked. And I'm not going to go into detail about it, but it's just like everything. When the Democrats screw something up, which they always do, they get everything they do, they get wrong all the time, 100% of the time. And then when they get caught doing something wrong, what do? They point the finger at the other guy because they can't take responsibility for it. But you're going to introduce a railway safety bill now. That's great. Thanks. But what makes it even crazier is that Fetterman, who knows what's going on with this guy, but apparently he's in the hospital. First, I was reading stories that he may have been brain dead. Then he's depressed. Then it's, what has he got? What did you read? Three more weeks or a few more weeks before? Yeah, mental breakdown. He's got a few more weeks to go, and then he's back out doing his thing again.
Road to recovery or whatever. It's like all over the place.
So John Fetterman introduced the Railway Safety Act 2023 on Wednesday while still hospitalized receiving treatment for clinical depression. The bill, co-sponsored by 5 other senators, aims to improve railway safety. After all of the incidents we've already had, thanks, guys, for waiting for people to have their lives ruined and people killed before you start enacting policy. But there are people questioning, why is he involved in writing bills and doing these things while he's hospitalized under doctor's care? And, like this particular tweet from Julia, Fetterman has been held incommunicado for 2+ weeks while allegedly being treated for clinical depression. And they're not really giving us a whole lot of information about this guy.
Didn't he have a stroke when he was on the campaign trail?
I think it was last May, I think.
Yeah, so I wonder if those things are related.
I'm sure they are. I mean, this is again, and I'm not at all trying to belittle him for his health issues, because everybody has health issues and you just have to deal with them. But I don't believe that he wanted to run as senator. I believe he was pushed into it. I believe his wife, who, by the way, fled the country with their kids after he went into the hospital.
Yep.
Real nice. And that's what makes me suspicious about her, that she was pushing him to do something that he didn't necessarily want to do. And the fact, if you watch the debate between him and Dr. Oz, it was bizarre. It was like the craziest thing I've ever seen. Because apparently he cannot, if someone's talking to him, he cannot actually understand the words that are coming out of the person's mouth. So they had to put a screen up so he could actually read the words of what somebody was saying. And
wow.
So he was in bad shape. But again, that doesn't necessarily mean that he can't do his job, but I think there was a lot more that we didn't know that was going on. And again, I feel bad for the guy going through what he's going through, and I especially feel bad for him. I have sympathy for him if he's being pushed into doing this, and I just have that funny feeling that he was pushed to do this, and I'm sure that didn't help him when it came to the depression thing. But it was really bizarre to see his wife fleeing the country with her children after he was hospitalized. That's weird.
Well, and the thing that I find very unusual is he's hospitalized for clinical depression, and yet that hasn't stopped him from co-sponsoring the legislation.
But it makes me wonder: was he really even involved in it? So, or did somebody come into his hospital room and say, "Hey, you're just going to sign this"?
Yeah, it doesn't. it doesn't make any logical sense. So something's up.
And it also makes me think that, the left is trying to hide something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
It just seems suspicious. That's
but it's
all.
very, it's just a weird story.
It's a very weird story.
And again, I feel it sucks. But he even said, I didn't follow my doctor's directions. I didn't take the medicine. I didn't do what I was supposed to do. That's why he ended up having the stroke. And then,
And now he's got depression issues.
well, and then again, I think a lot of it has to do
mental.
with everything that's going on, and then being thrust into this position unwillingly, in my opinion.
And if you have depression issues or mental issues, you don't typically hear people that are checked into a hospital for that long. Like, they don't give you any detail of what that even means. I mean,
Yeah, I don't
mental
know.
illness is a serious thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope he's okay, and I hope that his family is okay. But they don't tell you anything. So my ears perk up like, what? It sounds just suspicious to me. Like, what's really going on?